The unification of the Slavic nations from both the Baltics and Europe would create a new outstanding world power. That power mostly banks off of existing power created from Russia, considering that it's already considered a superpower, but still, the unified Slavic nations would be a superpower nonetheless. The sheer power this nation would hold economically, culturally, and Slavically would be enough to prove to the world its worth, and would also prove how a proud people with a unified identity could come together to make great strides in history. Does this remind you of any other nation that has existed? Why yes, this country would be a fierce power. But before anything, what would create such a country? There would be a number of Slavic nations that would have to unite. The countries that would have to form together results from the combinations of Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, the Czech Republic, Poland, Slovakia, Bosnia, Bulgaria, Croatia, Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, and Slovenia. A lot of IAs, if you will. As you could tell, this would cause a lot of border gore and would have a great deal of separation. So I also opt in for adding Romania and Hungary into the mix because screw their own national identity. What are they going to do? Fight against this greater nation wanting to unify through land? Considering that this is a greater nation, let's call it Greater Slavia, where the grass is frozen and the women are also frozen. Now that we have Greater Slavia, let's consider where the capital would be placed. More so, why Moscow is going to be the capital by a landslide. Russia, being the largest of all these Slavic nations, would naturally be inclined to be the home to the centralized government of all these unified Slavic nations. Also, by far, it is the largest metropolis city out of all the entities in Greater Slavia, with the population hitting around 16 million in the capital alone. This is already a larger population than most of the countries that have even became unified with Greater Slavia. Now having a capital for the nation of Greater Slavia, the next challenge for this nation will be annexing Albania. Naturally, owning Bosnia alongside with Croatia gives ample coastline towards the Adriatic Sea. But screw it, might as well take more. Not like Albania wants to miss out on all the fun, the Greater Slavic fun. After annexing Albania, why stop there? Might as well take Greece too for strategic, military, and economical hardpoints. Any country from the Middle East or Africa wanting to trade with Europe would have to go through Greater Slavia. By taking Greece, there will be less entry points to Europe through land. Therefore, the only entry points into Greater Slavia will have to take place directly in West Europe or through Central Asia. The only other entrance would come from Turkey, but that would be incredibly difficult as there is only a narrow passage between Turkey and Greater Slavia and would still require passage from Greater Slavia. The culture from Greater Slavia will be that everyone already expects from Slavs. Formal clothing will be Adidas tracksuits, the national anthem being hard bass. And the national drink takes the form of a shot of hard vodka. Instead of vaccinations, kids are simply told to wait out whatever disease that has infected them. If they fail in doing so and face serious illness or death, well, that's just natural selection at work, baby. Every citizen, Slovenian, would be issued a neighborhood babushka that would cook, clean, and give solid life advice whenever needed in exchange for fruits and help crossing busy streets. The cities will be filled with industry and commercial hubs, while the rural countrysides will also be filled with industry. We just can't let all this land and manpower go to waste. Overall, I propose to Vladimir man himself, Vladimir, to diplomatically unite Greater Slavia. And yes, warm is a form of diplomacy. See ya.